Okay, so we were given 3 links, and the first one talked about how brands can learn from BuzzFeed's success. The first tip is that it's all about content, apparently. BuzzFeed focuses on supplying content that people really want to read, but it also mentions the importance of social media, saying that Facebook drove a ton of people to its site, even more so than search engines, even like Google did. It says that while BuzzFeed provides kind of global information for a broad audience, it also supplies content that's local and that can be applied to a general audience. Things that pretty much anyone, no matter where you are, can appreciate or can relate to. It gives the tip to not focus on the site's content to one general genre, like humor, but to have a variety, like adding serious articles as well as comedy. Another important thing it mentions is that content is based on what is currently trending, and the only way you can know what's trending is by doing research about what is trending and having content that people are going to want to see based on what's popular at the moment. One thing that I thought was really cool is how it mentioned that BuzzFeed doesn't run ads like banner ads like most sites do, because those are so annoying and they pop up and you can't get rid of them, and they're just obnoxious. But instead, BuzzFeed uses its stories to advertise, which I think is definitely one of my favorite things about BuzzFeed. I hate getting attacked by ads. The second tip, the second to last tip, was to find a certain tone and stick with it, which isn't that easy. And then the last tip was to not be scared of writing in long form. Not everything has to be super short or in a list. The second link was talking about online and social media mistakes. The first thing it talks about is how you shouldn't be afraid to share stories, even if you think everyone has already seen it or that everyone's already read it because it was on a big site like BuzzFeed, for example. Because you think, oh, it's a compelling story, everybody's probably already read it, I don't need to share it. Chances are a lot of people haven't read it, so you shouldn't be scared to share stories. Tip number 2 is that people aren't that mean. If you make a mistake, don't worry, it's not like they're going to attack you, and most of the time they probably won't care. Another thing it says is not to ignore the Google Plus users. It says they're really, really good. Google Plus users are really good to gather because they're loyal and they enjoy quality content like everybody else. So you shouldn't ignore them. It says for maximum impact, you should be available to everyone, meaning you should be available at peak times in the different time zones. I thought that was interesting because I never thought about that before that. You have to package your content to appeal to the different types of people on the different types of social media, because somebody on Facebook may not have the same kind of interests or the same kind of they may be different types of people than people on, say, Twitter or Pinterest. You don't always have to follow trends. You could put up content that is different than what everyone else is posting. It doesn't have to be current and trending. It says always use hashtags because they're super important and they get you a lot of users, but just don't overdo it. And it says that numbers aren't everything, that the qualitative data is just as or even more important than the numbers. Another thing that it mentioned was you have to pay attention to feedback and listen to your audience. And it said that if you want to manage your stream, that's okay, because your content, you need to have your content how you like it, and you can manage your stream the way you're okay with it, and it doesn't have to be overwhelming and overbearing. And the main thing it says is your content can't just be boring content, and it has to be compelling, otherwise it's not going to get people to watch it or share it. It says that you shouldn't be afraid to give your opinion on things that matter to you, because social media is about conversations. And it says sharing, comment, and like other people's posts, because it's not all about you. It says that if you want something shared, you have to ask people to share it. I know in the past I've always been kind of iffy on whether to ask people to share something, because I feel like that's just kind of rude and imposing, but I mean, if you want something shared, I guess that's a good way to do it. It says that you can add to your growth, and a good way to do that is by adding followers on Twitter and then keeping them engaged by the content you post on Facebook. It talks about how you shouldn't set a limit in your mind for the number of shares, the number of followers or likes or what have you. You should never stop trying to promote your content. So if you set that limit in your mind, you're going to hit that limit and think, oh, okay, I'm done. But you should never stop promoting that content. And finally, if you want a continuous following and continuous shares, then you have to write and post continuously. It can't be kind of off and on, off and on. And then the third link talks about the problems with getting click-throughs on Facebook and some of the methods that they've tried, but they haven't really achieved that great of results, like the results that they've received on Twitter and Pinterest. Twitter and Pinterest have a lot of click-throughs, but Facebook has been having trouble doing that. And one of the ways that they're trying to get more click-throughs is something that I just noticed recently. Myself, I noticed it. They're making the posts with links 3 times the size of regular posts so that they get more noticed and they're more visible. And another thing it said is that posts with images get higher engagement, leading to more click-throughs. So if you're looking to get more click-throughs, I guess you could put an image with it, and the image really attracts more viewers. And another thing they said was that links, the link titles and the descriptions, you can change those. And a lot of people don't know that. But oftentimes they should be changed to attract more attention, and that will likely lead to more click-throughs. And that's pretty much what the 3 links were about.